One low mock exam score can completely destroy a student emotionally. Yung confidence mo, yung pinrepare mo for the past months, not because the score itself is dangerous, but because students immediately start attaching meaning to it. Baka hindi enough ginagawa ko, baka hindi ako capable. And honestly, this is exactly why so many students avoid mock exams completely. But the students who improve the fastest are usually the students willing to see uncomfortable data earlier. So if you're comfortable seeing data na, oh my gosh, mababa score ko dito. Okay, let's take it as data na I can improve here. Then chances are that is gonna be your edge as you keep on reviewing for the boards. Welcome to Mindset Magic with Nika, your space for main character energy, identity shifts, and intentional living. Students think mock exams are just academic. They're not. Mock exams are deeply psychological because mock exams force students to confront uncertainty. No one knows what's gonna be in there in the mock exams, diba? Unless you are already in that room taking that exam, looking at those questions. And what uncertainty? By that, I mean yung weak areas natin, yung memory gaps, pacing issues, pressure handling, mental blocking, poor retrieval, and unfinished outputs. Some of us avoid taking mock exams because we're afraid na we're gonna know. We still don't know a lot. And most students unconsciously treat scores like identity feedback. And gets naman, when we were raised as high achievers or like in school, we were graded based on how well we do something or how well we remember something. Of course, it would feel like kapag hindi mo na-meet yung score na gusto mo, it feels like you're a failure, right? A low score doesn't just feel like I got answers wrong. It feels like maybe I'm failing as a person and I know that so well. It's brutal, but it's true. And this is why students spiral, comparing scores, overstudying suddenly, panic scheduling, avoiding practice and mock boards, and emotionally shutting down because we don't want to feel that way anymore. Now we might fail and that we are failing as a student, as a taker. One of the most dangerous things students do after a bad mock exam is avoidance. Because the ego wants safety, na mas okay na lang na hindi mo alam kung anong score mo, kung ano yung mga hindi mo alam, versus makonfront ka na, ay baka hindi ka pa talaga ready for the board exam. And when that happens, students start saying, mag-aaral na lang muna ako bago mag-mocks ulit, kapag ready na lang ako. But that only delays exposure. Meaning, you are wasting time waiting. Instead na alam mo na sana agad, may data ka na sana agad kung ano yung i-improve mo, kung ano yung weaknesses mo, kung ano yung pwede mong paglaanan pa ng more focus and attention, nade-delay sila. You don't have access to that data because you're not taking the mock boards, which is gonna allow you to get more data on what else you need to know on your blind spots. Avoiding the board exam, avoiding the mock boards temporarily protects your confidence while secretly weakening your performance. Because pressure tolerance is a skill. To be able to perform well and to retrieve information in your brain during time pressure is a skill. So the students who never expose themselves to pressure during review season and then they meet pressure for the first time during the actual boards, sila yung nag-freeze. And I remember that because that was me who spent lots of time on my design concept because what? Because it was hard for me to function under pressure because I didn't review for pressure. I was just okay with rereading all the notes and not really testing if I'm retaining it. That was being my first take. And that is terrifying for the nervous system. It's different when you're reviewing in a chill space that allows you to focus very well versus performing in a space that is testing you. Na even yung environment itself is a simulation of how prepared are you to really be a professional. Students think mock exams measure intelligence, but really they expose weak systems. Yung weaknesses mo, yung retrieval mo, kung gaano ka ba kabilis, yung pacing problems, if there are still topics that you haven't covered, stamina gaps, the mock exams also expose that kasi pagod ka na ba after number 5? Hindi mo na ba ma-retrieve agad from your brain? Passive review habits, nabasa lang ng basa ng paragraphs but not really taking down notes or retaining them or quizzing yourself whether you really understand it. Overconfidence, na parang complacent ka lang na siguro okay na to. And then pagdating ng mock exams, oh my gosh, hindi ko pala alam. And then perfectionism na kaka-perfect mo ng ibang subject, Nagulat ka na you're missing out on lots of stuff and there are still blind spots. Now, the mock exams give you this privilege of knowing where else you can improve. Mock exams reveal how your brain performs under pressure. And honestly, that information is valuable. Painful, but valuable. A low mock score is painful because students think na it predicts their future, their performance in the boards, but sometimes it's just revealing what still needs repetition and retention and mastery. Because now that you have all this data from your mock boards, guess what? Eh di alam mo na saan ka mag improve. And isn't that an advantage? Ironically, mock exams are one of the fastest ways to build confidence. I know that because instead of like sifting through the cards, the flashcards, I would test myself on how well I remember them, how well I retain them, how well I understand them. Not because they feel good, but because they create evidence na may progress pala ako, na nagigets ko pala to, naiintindihan ko pala to. After all, confidence for the boards comes from evidence that you are doing well. Every mock exam, every time you quiz yourself, you test yourself, it gives your brain familiarity, pattern recognition, awareness, pressure exposure, and recovery experience. Na if meron kang na-miss na item doon, you won't spiral right away because you know that you can improve it because it is just data showing you where else you can improve. And when you keep on repeating that again and again, the nervous system becomes less shocked by pressure, which means less likely ka na ma-mental block during the boards, less likely ka na mag-underperform or mag-freeze during the boards. Simulation reduces panic because the brain stops treating pressure like unfamiliar danger. Expected mo na siya during the boards. And when you come there, it's like, normal na tong pressure na to. I've experienced this, I've trained this way, and I already know what it feels like. So I just have to show up there and retrieve and recall and to do my best based on the pressure that I practice. And students who repeatedly survive pressure start trusting themselves more. Kasi you eliminate that uncertainty na hindi ko alam anong gagawin ko when I'm pressured because you already have data. If you recently got a bad mock score, I need you to avoid making emotional conclusions too quickly or spiraling. One score is data, not destiny. It doesn't inform you na ito yung magiging future mo, na ito yung magiging grade mo. Not at all. Do not ask na, oh my gosh, am I doomed? Di na ba ako makakapasa? Rather, ask yourself, what is this exposing? If mababa ako sa subject na to, if I got this item wrong, what is this exposing? What else is there for me to learn? What else is there for me to master or to cover for this certain topic so that the next time I can get a higher score? Because strategic students use feedback differently. They identify weak categories, they analyze how much they already know, they review their repeated mistakes, they train their retrieval process, and they simplify systems, and they repeat exposure again and again and again until it becomes like a muscle, a second brain na, okay, when I get this, this is what I do. When I feel this way, this is how I'll answer it. When I encounter this concept, this is my first approach. Emotionally spiraling and overthinking after feedback waste the feedback. Sayang yung data. Feedback is only useful if you stay calm enough to interpret it. So take your mock exam scores as feedback to what you can improve on your weaknesses, on your gaps. I honestly think mock exams are exposing something deeper. They expose how students relate to themselves under pressure. Some students see feedback and collapse emotionally talaga na nakakatakot, nakaka-confront, and others see feedback and adjust strategically. They take it as constructive criticism, and that difference matters. The goal of the mock exams is not proving na you're already perfect, you're already complete, you are already ready to take the boards. The goal is becoming less fragile before the real boards because the pressure is different when you are in that group. So let the mock exams, let it be your advantage, let it be your training ground on the pressure that your body is able to handle and how well you can respond to it. If mock exams have been emotionally wrecking you lately, I hope this episode helped you realize panic after feedback is human. When you panic after the mock exam scores, that is human. But avoiding your low scores and what it could mean, the data, the feedback, that is completely dangerous because you're missing out on what you can improve. you're missing out on what else you can focus on. So the goal is not becoming fearless. The goal is becoming more adaptive under pressure. Para when you are in that room, you won't collapse under pressure and you can actually maximize all your review and let it help you get a high score, help you pass, help you perform well during the boards because pressure is just what? Cherry on top because you can respond well. Check out the links below. I have resources for you for the board exam and even the IDLE brain and mental advantage system to really help you maximize and analyze the data you have from your mock exam so you know what to do next. So good luck and you got this.
This is Mindset Magic.